Hello, 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 and welcome to another Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine featured. Today, we're going to say featured speakers event. We've got a most amazing event, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring my special guest on in the room. Come on in, Kearn. Come on in, Dr. Angela. Come on in, Dr. Karen. You all are in for such a treat today. I have some ladies here that they have a Power Up Summit. If y'all are ready to level up on that stage, level up in life, y'all just listen in, tune on in. Kurt, go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself. You are the visionary behind this amazing event. So tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about the vision behind the event.
All right. So the Power Up Summit, which is scheduled the 27th through the 31st, it is a hybrid conference. So the first 2 days will all be virtual, and then in person, we will go to the 29th and the 31st will be in Biloxi, Mississippi. In addition, it will be online, our virtual conference part, but we will actually be in person here in Biloxi. And we're so thrilled to announce that Cynthia Bailey of the Real Housewives of Atlanta will be here. And then we also have Robbie Montgomery, one of the real icons, and the owner of Sweetie Pie, the restaurant chain there as well. She will be here, as well as our celebrity keynotes hit the stage. You definitely want to make sure that you get your tickets to the conference, because guess what? You can go online right now and register for free, whether it's online or in person. You can register for the conference, which is free. So you don't want to miss it. But if you want to have an upgrade experience and hobnob with our celebrities and people like that, go to the VIP All Access. That's right. Go to Power Up Summit and go / VIP All Access, and you will get in with the celebrities that we have coming. But for free, you're going to get a lot as well, because we have Dr. Cheryl Wood. Y'all all know Dr. Cheryl Wood. We got Shay Brown. That's right, the happy entrepreneur herself. We have Dr. Stacy Grant, faith entrepreneur, coming in as well. She'll be emceeing. I mean, we got Dr. Nikita Davis. You hadn't seen her everywhere, but now you get to see these people in person, and they will be free at the conference. You'll get to come in and meet and greet and just meet up with them. Now, the vision behind the Power Up Summit actually was given to me, and I always say God gave it to me, because he knew after my conference, Success Women's Conference, that I was looking for something more. And so this conference was given to me by him, and I am blessed. Yes, we wanted to kick it off in person in 2020 in New Orleans, but he had something else going on. Right, we got COVID, but we've been online. This is our 3rd year. We're coming out strong. I'm so blessed to have these women and 2 others that are co-hosting the event from the beginning to the end. They will be with us in person, online. We have one that's coming in from Australia. Yeah, she's flying from around the world to join us in Biloxi, Mississippi. So this is what I do, Tiffany. I've been creating events for over 20 plus years now. I am the co-founder and director of Success Women's Conference as well, and creator and producer of Level Up Summit, which was in March this year as well. And so I do that. And look, I do all that. And I've been in healthcare for 35 years. And my husband and I co-own a home care business. And well, so busy. I love it. I love teaching other people how to create their own successful conference. And I love teaching people how to increase their visibility.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Kearn. Thank you for everything you do. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so exciting. Now, we've got two other amazing women in the house. So I want to go ahead and introduce Dr. Karen Hill. Is it Prudent?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Karen. So please introduce yourself. Tell our audience a little bit about you as well.
Yes, I am affectionately known as the C-suite career elevation strategist. Ideally, my clients are female middle managers who most times feel stuck, stagnant, and sometimes they're grossly underpaid in their middle management position. And I partner with these women. And after working with me through going over various ways of how to tweak their leading of people, leading change, using technology and analytics. We talk a lot about emotional health, mental health, and physical health as well, because it's one body, one mind. And a lot of
Yes.
times people get up to senior leadership and then their health fails them because they're forsaking their health to get to senior leadership. But after working with these women, they have the tools that help them impact and influence their way in senior leadership. So those are my ideal clients. That's who I work with, and those are the problems that I assist individuals with and within corporate America.
Oh, wow, wonderful. And we need so much of that. I was in corporate America for quite a while, and I will tell you that my health did start to be impacted just from being caught up in the hamster wheel of life. So I definitely commend you for what you do. So thank you so much. Now we have another young woman in the group. We've got Dr. Angela Hart. Hello, hello. How are you?
Hello, hello. I am so excited. Thank you, Tiffany, for inviting us. We are having an amazing time. And I tell you, we love to bring the energy. Yes. Woo! I am Dr. Angela Harden Mac, the women's empowerment coach and manifestation expert. I am the founder and CEO of Live Great Lives Women's Empowerment Coaching. I serve professional women, helping them to optimize their wellness and live great lives without sacrificing family, freedom, or wellness. And I know you're right there with me, Tiffany, because again, we
Yeah.
have to be whole and healthy so we can show up to be unapologetically awesome, living with power and intention.
Yes.
That's me.
Yes. Yes, very powerful. Thank you, Dr. Angela. Now, I've got a question for you, ladies. It is tough getting a summit, a conference, a workshop, any of these types of things together when you are running businesses and you're, taking care of family and, you got the kids and this and that going on in life. How do you manage? Give me an example of your self-care that you put in place when you got all this going on, because it's a lot and you all seem like you're very cool, calm, and collected women here. So let's talk about that. So we'll start with you two. We'll start with you, Kurt.
Well, first of all, many people hear me talking about working in your gifts. And so that is one place that you start with anything you're doing. When you do something that you're passionate about, it just becomes a lot easier for you to actually work in that zone. So that I tell people all the time, if it's not your gift, hire somebody to help you so you can relieve yourself of some of the stress, because conferences have so many moving parts. Online takes a lot of work to do it as well. But when you go to in person, the legs, it's like a spider, so many legs, and you have to make sure all of them are in place. So when you're doing all of this, you got to make sure that you have a good team with you. That from the beginning, recruiting the right people, not just the people that say yes to you, but the people that will tell you, and girl, you need to let that go, right? You
Yeah.
need those kind of people around you. Now, you don't need a bunch of negative Nellies, because that's not good for you as well. You need people that are positive, that have your best interest in mind. And most of the time, those relationships, you have their best interest in mind and they have yours in mind. so they don't mind being there and picking up parts, but also be willing to hire people that have the talent to make things happen, right? They may not be your somebody that you talk to all the time, but you got to recruit people that know how to do and put these type of events together. That first, to me, that's the first part of the leg in self-care. Then you have to find the balance to not be 24/7 on it. You're right. Now, I do have to say the week of the conference gets a little tougher. So you have to really kind of create sleep, and you have to kind of listen to the people around you who are telling you, get some rest, get some rest. It's hard for your brain to rest, but you need to at least lay that body down. I have, Tiffany, and I mentioned this to y'all before we got online. You know, I have a disease called pulmonary hypertension, which causes you to be short of breath all the time, which is tiring. But you know, I had to learn about 12 or 13 years ago that I need to incorporate time for me. And so on Fridays and Mondays, you know, I take off either half a day and sometimes all day. And I had to also realize that I'm not really a morning person. So I try not to schedule my main things first thing in the morning. But sometimes I have to do mornings. I mean, it's life, it's business, right? But you know, find a balance. You know, on Mondays, if you're a business owner, and I'm talking to y'all, you can take off a half a day on Monday. You can take a half a day on Friday, which a lot of people, whether they're business owners or not, they take off a half a day. Now, if you're in the career zone and all that, you got to do it in the evening when you get off. Don't get off on time, at least a couple of days a week, and make sure when you get off, one or two of those days are spent on you, not your family and all that stuff. You know, go ahead, take some time. Maybe that's the day you don't cook. You know, that's me. So I'm just those are suggestions for me. You know, I'm just a person getting a little older every year and learning as I go.
I love that. I love that, Kearn. And look, we got to not be afraid to ask for the help as well. You know, I think sometimes we as women, we just feel like we can handle it all. You know, and I know for myself, I am a little bit of a control freak. So, you know, but you have to be able to get out there and, you know, like you said, touch those people that have those talents and be able to put it there and just ask for the help. Just ask, you know, it shouldn't be that hard. So, thank you, Karen. Okay. So tell us, Dr. Karen, what about you? What does your self care look like during this, you know, all this hectic stuff? Oh, you're muted.
That should be better. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm the rebel of the bunch because I'm still work in progress. You know, I sleep about 4 hours a night. I'm trying to get 6 is my goal. You know, ideal 8 would be wonderful and 9 would be wonderful, but my goal is 6. Um, I have always had a large capacity and bandwidth to do a whole lot of things and not require sleep, and not felt as though that I was impacting myself by not having sleep. And so I have actually sought the help of I'm working with a nutritionist, a dietitian, and a few other people on how to basically change my ways gradually, incrementally, so that I can have some overall success in terms of just my overall health. Because a lot of times, because we have the ability to keep going and keep going and keep going, we think everything is okay. And then when you find yourself passed out on the floor maybe one day, then you realize, well, maybe everything wasn't okay. And so I don't want to be one of those situations that hasn't been that detrimental for me. And so I recognize I have bad eating habits, so I'm doing better in terms of that. Rest and sleep is not the enemy to me no longer. I used to say, why do I need to sleep? I could be doing this and I could be doing that. But your body needs time to rejuvenate. When your heart is going like this all day long, it needs time to slow down. And sleep and rest does that for you. And so I am learning to respect rest and sleep, respect, making better choices. I have a good friend of mine who just, she's like that ear, that voice in the ear. Make better choices, Karen, in terms of what you eat. You can make a better choice almost everywhere you go. Instead of having a hamburger, you can have a salad. And so I am moving at full speed ahead. I continue to be work in progress. I am trying to move more so in the implementation stage because I've surpassed the education stage. I know what I should be doing. And so now I've moved into the path of actually doing it so that I can do what I do. And I love everything that I do in the long run. And I won't have that hiccup of when a health situation hit me because I've been going at full speed ahead and I've basically been ignoring even maybe subtle signs that my body may be telling me that, hey, you need to make some changes. So I'm just trying to be proactive when it comes to my self-care. So I view myself as work in progress.
Okay, I like that. Thank you so much.
Good deal. Good deal.
All right, Dr. Angela, what about you?
Wow, this is so good. So good. Kind of ditto what the other lady said. And I think one thing is we all have a flow, we all have a rhythm. So getting into that, like Kearn said, she knows that the morning time is not her peak time. And so that's important for all of us. When is that prime time? When is that peak time? Because that's when we'll be able to focus and really be engaged. So for me, it's morning. I am a morning person. I'm up anywhere from like 4 to 6. So, I'm up. So I honor that and I flow with that. But it's just as important too to know, like after 8 p.m., 9 p.m., that's when I start to transition. And so that's the time that's really important for me to relax. Sometimes we have these meetings like at 8:30, I'm like this, and then by 9 o'clock. So honoring that rest, and it took a while. Like I said, at the beginning of my career, it wasn't that because we're so excited. It's like, yes, I'm Dr. Angela, and I'm starting off. We want to show up and we want to be everything, but we have to regularly take time to sharpen that axe. If we try to work with the dull axe, what happens? We know, or knife, right? You get cut, and you don't get the same results. So taking that hour, I have at least 1 hour every day when it's just me. And I rotate. Sometimes that's fully my time for devotion, reading, praising, putting on music. Sometimes that is I love fiction books. And so I just get my Kindle and I read, and I need things that are totally different, totally separated from what I do. It's like, I'm doctor and there's other things, high intensity stuff over here, but I get my little girly foo-foo stuff and just read it because it's fantasy, and that allows me to disconnect. So I honor my cycle, my flow. I rest and I sharpen. So when I get it, when I'm on, I'm focused and I'm there. But when it's time to turn off, I do it, and I had to learn how to do it without guilt. That wasn't easy too. So that's work in progress. And early, right, because it was like I should be doing something else.
Yeah. Right.
This time is just as important.
Oh goodness, this is so powerful, ladies. Oh my goodness, I love this. So let's tell me, what is the biggest challenge do you feel in being involved in creating an event like this? What do you feel like would be the biggest challenge? Like her.
For me, it's no matter how often you do anything, keeping yourself pumped up and knowing that God has your back, right? And knowing also when to let things go. I have seen, I've been doing this so long, I can tell you when the years have to change and when you just need to walk away, right? And so just knowing that, things are going to work out, and getting the support, like y'all said, you got to have that support team around you and believe that they're going to do what they're going to do for you because they have your back. But there are a lot of situations where it can just feel, you feel like it's going to be a negative experience, and then you go and you realize, no, God said this is what I need to do, and I need to do it. So staying positive. I really say for me, it's always, pressure to push myself forward and to focus, and really focus on what's important and not some of the ideas that we have pop up in our head. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I'm gonna do that, and that happens a lot. So that's what a good team, having that real good team. And y'all, when I say team, I'm not talking about your family. That. So when I train in teaching people how to put their events together, I often say, please, your family they're gonna be there the day of. They're gonna be there, but you gotta make sure that you bring the people that are gonna. You gotta have those yes people that tell you do this and have creative ideas. You gotta have creative people around, and then those people that will say, no, you spending too much money.
Okay. And sometimes the family is so close, they won't tell you those things, so.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kearn. All right,
I
Dr.
think
Karen.
I'll go behind Kearns since she's stepping all on my toes and everything. So I held my biggest event ever last year, my first annual conference. And so one of the things that I've learned to do is, stay in my lane of brilliance. And that wasn't my lane of brilliance. And so I hired people who that was their area expertise. And so I hired Kearns company to produce my conference because she's been doing it for decades, so why would I even try to embark on something when I have subject matter experts who will assist me and guide me and unfortunately tell me no sometimes because as a new individual, it's just like the Christmas lights on the Christmas trees. I want everything. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And and you do need someone to say, wait a minute, hold up. And Kern's favorite line is, what's the budget? When she started putting the word budget out there, it's like, why do we have to talk about the budget? Or what's the budget? But you pay individuals to keep you in line like that, and then sometimes no is not no forever. No is not now, not today, but it doesn't mean that it can't be done another way or in the future. And so, using subject matter experts who have their own area of brilliance so that you can kind of operate in your lane of brilliance is kind of how I approach that process. And this year we're coming up on another, and it's still the same. I hire subject matter experts, to do those things that they are experts in. And then I can talk about how to get you to the C-suite and how to stay in the C-suite. And they can worry about graphics and technology and all of that other stuff, which is huge. All of that stuff is huge and it's necessary. And I like for things to be done in an excellent way. I don't like for things to be thrown together. So I have an expectation of the quality of that I like as well. And so it's also important to kind of marry yourself with individuals whose expectations of quality are the same as yours. So that's very important as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Karen. All right, Dr. Angela.
I think being able to articulate, your vision, that's key, because when you have that vision, that dream, that desire for the people, we get excited about it. We can see everything and how it can impact. But communication, and that's that key piece. We want to put it out in a way, because what we intend is not always the message that people have. So having that team, individuals to help and to assist, to say, this is what my goal is, this is what my vision is for the people who will be here. And then those team of experts, those subject matter experts, help with the craft, the press release, the graphics, and all of those things, to take again your message. But many times again, it's our heart's message, and craft it in a way that it resonates with people, because we want them to be engaged. We want the message, the vision to resonate with them, because we want to inspire, we want to motivate, and we want people to experience transformation. So it's so important, that message and that team to help with that.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Angela. So with the Power Up Summit, what can our, what can the viewers, what can they expect from Power Up? Like what's going to be the biggest takeaway? What's going to be that biggest takeaway that they're going to have when they come and they sit there? What's going to be that one? Just even if you say it in one word, okay?
I can say it in 2 words. I can say it in 2 words: knowledge transfer. There will be a transference of knowledge. You will be sharing your knowledge with others, and others will be sharing their knowledge with you. So, 2 words: knowledge transfer. If you're open to receiving and you're open to sharing, then your cup will be filled, whether you attend virtually or in person.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you. Kearn, want to add to that?
Well, the theme this year is unleash your power. And so, when you're doing conferences, creating and figuring out what do you want people to gain from this particular conference, and figuring out what that theme should be, sometimes take longer than you want, right? And so this theme kept coming back to me. I often think there's a scene in one of the movies that it says, unleash your power. Right? And so I'm like, yes, that's it. That's what we want to do. We want you to come in and gain so much knowledge, make so many connections, get so full that when you finish this conference, you're going to go back and say, it's time for me to unleash my gifts, my power. Your gifts are your power. Your talent is your power. How often do we sit and admire all these gifted athletes, entertainers, singers who, when they open their mouth, it sounds like harmony coming out, right? And we admire them, and most of them are like, I don't even think about it. I just do it. It was given to me naturally. Talk about Proverbs 18:16. God said he's given everybody gifts and talent. Everybody is born with that. It's up to you to tap into that. Oprah tapped into hers early. Yeah. She probably came out the womb talking. We just hadn't heard that part yet, right? But it's her talent. Jeff Bezos over Amazon. Man, started with books in the garage. Y'all, everybody uses Amazon right now. Tell me a person who's never used Amazon, and I'm going to say, you're lying. You're lying. You've used it in some way or another, right? It's just, when you realize it, they realize theirs early, and they set on it. They're like, this is why I'm just staying right here, because this is what I know I'm called to do, and I'm going to figure out what it is and how. I'm going to figure out how to work this gift. So when you do that, you unleash something in you, right? And it is your power. So when you come around people who are looking for similar things, they're looking for something to improve their life. And you get these speakers like Dr. Kearn and Dr. Mac, pouring into you. Then you got other ones coming in as well, like Dr. Cheryl and Shay and all of them. I don't understand how you can't get so full that you want to unleash your power. So I'm just encouraged. I love connecting and collaborating and being around people. That's just me. My husband said when we go to the movies, my husband likes to go when nobody's in the room. I'm looking around and say, ain't nobody in there here. Why don't this, why are we here? Oh, my husband's like, we're here to see the movie, Kearn. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. Well, I guess I'm always looking to connect to somebody or something. Right. So that's me. That's what I'm hoping, people gain from just coming. Even if you come for a half a day or you come for one day or 2 or 3, all 3 days in person, we just would love to have you be a part of this and connect with us. Come up and talk to us. We're we're approachable and not standoffish. So that's me. That's my opinion.
Oh, thank you, Kurt. Thank you. What about you, Dr. Angela? You want anything to add?
Yes, recharged and excited. We have to regularly recharge to get that energy. And we've been talking about this for a couple of years after what the world had experienced as it relates to the pandemic, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, professionally, financially. This has impacted everyone in all areas of life. And we have had a drain. This has, been a drain for us. So we're coming to this conference to recharge, again, to connect, to be recharged, and with that excitement. Excitement is so important, and it's a piece you can't eliminate excitement from being powerful or living your great life or being productive. So, after all we've gone through, people are coming to get recharged and then excited. That excitement, again, we show up, we smile, we have positivity, we have that positive expectation. So people are looking for that and they would not miss it. So recharging and excitement.
Oh, yes, I'm excited. So, okay, ladies, y'all know how to show up. Okay. And there are a lot of people out there. I recently was able to get on a national stage last year with Sean Fair, and that was horrifying at first. Okay. So I know there's a lot of people out there. And when you speak or when you write, that is such a healing process for you. So please share with our audience just some way that just that thing that it took you to be able to just step out and be able to tell your story and just get out there and shine the way you do. Just tell us a little bit about how you were able to do that. So let's start with you, Kearn.
Oh, for me, and know this, you often hear people say, no matter how many times they do it, they have butterflies in their stomach. That applies to speaking as well. There's every time I get on the stage, whether it's my stage or somebody else, it's like, okay, yep, you can do it. You've been doing this a long time. Stay pumped. Let's go hype some people up. So, I first of all, prayer is such a calming thing, spending some time when you get up or go or before you go to bed, it really helps you to just kind of calm your nerves and get yourself focused. Some people meditate, or whatever, but spending time, I always say spend time with God. He will always carry you through and help you to relax. Taking some deep breaths and things like that. I've actually had to take time when I do conferences and spend time in a quiet room. The last one we did here in Biloxi, my partners were like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm taking a break. I'll see y'all when I come out." Because every time you come up, people are like, "Can I take a picture?" And I love doing all that. I love doing all of that. But I also want to make sure that I focus so that when I do have to give a message, I want to make sure that it's touching people, that somebody is hearing the message for them. And so everything that we say from our mouth is like a testimony for other people. And so we need to make sure that, spend time when that voice starts saying, hey, you need to pull up, pull back and just take a few breaths, spend some time with yourself. With yourself. I always say just take some time for yourself. So that's me as a speaker. Focus and take some time for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Kearn. Thank you, Dr. Karen.
For me, I am like at that epicenter of in between the introvert and the extrovert. So I kind of flip back and forth. If I'm talking about what I'm passionate about, what I feel my purpose is, which is helping individuals, specifically female individuals, get more prepared to enter senior leadership positions, then I'm in my extrovert mode. I'm in my lane of brilliance. I'm just pouring out everything that I know that I think can help them. I'm giving them all the cheat sheets and the roadmap. But then I also recognize that I require quiet time. And there are times where I could just sit around by myself, no television. Usually I have my journal, maybe a book open in my lap, but not really reading it, and just enjoying the quiet. And that's a lot, a lot when I'm home, because I'm also in the C-suite. I still work. I'm one of the individuals who have a business, and I still work full time as well. So when I'm at work, I'm on, and so there's no quiet time near. And then in business, there's no quiet time near. But when I'm home, I'm in introvert mode. But I appreciate both of those modalities. I appreciate the time. I think I'm recharging when I'm sitting in a room and, just enjoying the quiet. It kind of gets butterflies sometimes when my husband walk in a room and like, why are you sitting in here with nothing on? Well, I'm good. I'm good. Just recharging. But I enjoy, what I do, which is help coaching and sharing information with others. So I like being in that epicenter in between introvert and extrovert. And I like having a life that allows me both worlds, so that I can rejuvenate for when I am on and doing my purpose work. Because sometimes purpose work, it's never ending, because it's only 3 to 4% of the women even make it into senior leadership positions. And so that lets you know that there are a lot of individuals out there who are in need of at least some information so that they can make a choice as to whether or not that's the path that they want to choose.
Yeah. Thank you. Dr. Angela.
I go to one of my happy places, and one of my earliest ones was when I was a little girl. And for my parents, and even, now my dad died a couple of years ago, but before he died, and my mother and my father would say, have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you lately that I'm proud of you? And this is one of our rituals. Like I said, they have grandchildren. So that's my place. And so when I do anything, I remember again, my mom and my dad telling me, you can be anything you want to be, and you can do anything you want to do. So I think I'm Juanita and Oliver's daughter, and that's my happy place. And then that excitement and everything, and I stand and do what I'm excited to do.
I love that. Thank you.
I was gonna say, from what Karen said earlier, a lot of people operate from the introvert and extrovert position, because I think a lot of us are introverts, but you can't. It's hard to survive in this world and become visible and build your brand without learning to be extrovert as well. So I love she brought that up, because a lot of introverts get stuck, and you just have to push yourself, yourself to get out there and to share. Just start sharing your message.
Yeah, it's a powerful message. And I always tell people, you know what, your message is not, or your story is not your story. It's for somebody else to hear, because there's somebody else out there going through the same thing. And they need to hear it, because they might be at that line. They're at possibly at their end. I mean, our suicide rate is huge, today, especially through this pandemic. So, to be able to have someone that is going through the same thing you're going through, and hear that and hear how they overcame it, it's just, it's so important.
It really is. I always tell people, because I've been doing business for 25 years now, there's no way you're going to be in business without highs and lows, peaks and valleys. The struggles are just real. And sometimes those valleys are extremely deep, and it really makes you wonder, should I still be doing this? Right? The attacks come, you have those great moments. I often talk about 2010, where it was like the best year in business. It just kicked off. I was like, wow, we're going to hit over 1 million real easy. And then I associated with the BP oil spill. It's like, it happened that year. Everything was going fine, even during that time. But somewhere in there, everything just started to crumble. And I often tell people, make sure you give your tithe and offering Make sure that you align your household correctly.
Yes.
Because I look back at the books and all that, I'm like, I don't even see the money. I'm like, I don't know what we were doing, but I all I can say is God had us, and because of that, we were able to pull through. And I say that because it's real, y'all. I'm telling you, when we lost clients, we lost thousands of dollars in 1 month. 1 month. Those are clients that we have every day. And then to be attacked by attorney, losing thousands in savings, just watching it all disappear, and then your renter in your building that's been there for 7 years plus, gone overnight. I mean, it was just constant. It was so constant that, some people would have said, I'm done.
Right.
I'm just done. And I was with my husband, and I was like, look, we're gonna do what we're supposed to, and we're gonna keep this household in check. We're gonna give our tithe and offerings because we always know the blessings roll from that. And it took about a year or so to really start to just even feel normal, but we got through it. And that's why I say all the time, I know it gets depressing. I know things get to where it don't even look like you're going to come out, but you can do it, and don't be afraid to start over. Some people don't realize people bankrupt their business every day, right? And then you know what they do? They start another one just like that.
Right.
You have to keep pushing, encourage yourself, lift yourself, and be around people that will help you mentally keep going forth as well, and I know sometimes our culture doesn't like to seek therapy sometimes, but that's okay to do too if you need to, right? Seek help. So thank you for bringing that up, because that it really is it's important. That's why it's important to share what we've gone through. The testimonies is important. The stories are important.
Yeah. Dr. Kearn, Dr. Angela, do you have any feedback on that one?
That was drop the mic. It's good. It's about resilience, right? The story is, we're smiling, but I think that even the more impactful part is that we all are going to have difficult times. It's not if, it's when, how long, and how many. And I think the beauty is that I grew through it. That we came out on the other side better, stronger, wiser. Beauty for ashes, oil, for joy, praise instead of mourning. So there is a story behind our glory. And again, we're just as excited and transparent to tell that in appropriate settings.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you, ladies. Oh my gosh, this has just been such a powerful conversation. So I just have to ask, because we're getting to the end here already, and I'm like, wow, we already almost at 45 minutes. But I want to ask you all, just if there's any words of encouragement, any words of wisdom, anything that you all can just share with our audience today. We'll start with you, Kearn.
Words. I would, if you're sitting on an idea, if you're just not sure what to do, I often talk about how I love the fact that men just do it. Like the Nike commercial, they just do it, right? Women, I want to encourage you to stop overanalyzing, stop sitting on your dream. Yeah, some things we do is gonna fail, it's not gonna be successful, but then there are the others where, hey, I'm making a living. I'm finding a way to not be codependent on a system. The one thing I feel like COVID gave us was time, because we started pulling back from the rat race, right? Not just at work, but even when we came home, we would go out and do this and that, and we were just constantly doing stuff, and didn't have time for any of our dreams and visions of what we could be doing or what we desire to do, to actually be in our gifting, right? So you got the time. And a lot of us realize now we could have always done that. So find your gift and actually create a business behind it. If you're not doing an online business now, you're missing the mark. A lot of things that are happening now, you have to have an online version of it or be doing something to generate the income. That's what I love about the millennials and the Gen X. I do have to say, they will get online and create something like that. And you're like, really? The other thing I love about them, Tiffany, is that they get this mental health thing.
Yeah.
Right. I often think of some of the people that's had some major taking off of time, like Simona Biles and Naomi Osaka, and all of them literally said, I need a mental health break.
Right.
And they just look, I'm done. Oh, the job's driving me crazy. I don't need this.
That's right.
I'll just stay home. Oh, by the way, I don't mind moving back with my parents. They are fine, aren't they? I mean, come on, y'all. Y'all see it. I have 3 millennials. And I'm like, y'all just do. And you know what they also don't like? They don't like as they say, the BS that people put out. They don't put up with that. They're like, they're not being honest. They're not truthful. They're not showing integrity. They will cut you in a minute. Cut you and move on. And if you get a parent, you might want to look out because they might cut you too. So I love it. I mean, that part from them, I'm like, I'm always fussing. There go those millennials again. But wow, they have shown us stuff that we put up with because we were raised different, right? We were raised that you work to your fingers to the bone. If you need 3 jobs, go get those 3 jobs and cover that household.
Yes.
They're like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna wait to have some kids, and I don't need a house right now. I'm good. I can save up at my mom's and dad, and that job. You know what? You gave me 30 seconds to fire me, so guess what? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds before I walk from this job. I'm like, what? Somebody actually posted something like that. I'm like, okay. Wow. So the great resignation is real.
Yeah.
I would say they're part of the driving force, but a lot of people are deciding it's time to make a change. And so I say take the leap. Not necessarily, I'm not encouraging you to quit your job, but I'm saying make sure that you're putting yourself first. That's part of self-care. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. It is okay. Many of us are givers, so we struggle with that. But it's okay to be selfish, a little selfish, when it comes to yourself and your health. So please keep that in mind when you're deciding what to do. And take some vacations, y'all. It's time to get back to flying.
Okay. Look, I know so many people that have weeks upon weeks of vacation that they're sitting on. It's like, well, why are you sitting on it? Oh, maybe I'll cash it out sometime. Why not take it?
My mom had 6 months of vacation when she had her stroke. 6 months. We watched her check roll in for 6 months because she had that much vacation. But at the end of the day, what did it do for you? Now you're ill and you can't even enjoy what you have labored for, and so no, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. Take care of yourself and take that time off for yourself. Every year you should be planning time with your family and planning time for yourself and self-development. Y'all, doing professional development is important for your upward mobility. So I encourage you to take time for yourself. It's not good to just work until you drop.
Thank you. Dr. Kearn, what about you? What's some final words of wisdom for our audience today?
I guess, I'm looking at the footer here and I'm looking at the logo and I'm kind of focusing on the words fitness fanatics. And, what comes to mind for me is that um, fitness is not just physical, it's emotional and mental. And we need to guard our safe space, which is our mind sometimes, and so that requires us to delegate. That requires us to know when to say no. That requires us to sometimes not say anything at that moment. But we don't do a good job as entrepreneurs, as corporate professionals, and guarding our emotional health, particularly when we know situations and or people may trigger us. And so I would just encourage everybody to not only think about fitness and be fanatical about your physical, but also be that way about your mental and your emotional. Because as long as you have your mental and your emotional health, you can get another job, you can start another business, but that's where it starts. It starts in that realm of physical, emotional, and mental. So just make sure that those two other elements of fitness is a priority in addition to your physical health.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Dr. Karen. It's all about the mind, body, and the spirit. That's
Yes.
definitely. Thank you. All right, Dr. Angela.
Yes, I want to share with the audience. I want you to know that you are beautifully and wonderfully made in His image for a purpose and to live a great life. And if there's anything right now holding you up or blocking you, this could be your divine appointment to receive a word. It only takes one word. It may only be one word that will help you to recognize your greatness and to be able to live your great life. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Now, look, y'all, this is just a taste, just a little taste of what you can experience with the Power Up Summit with Kearn Cherry, Dr. Karen, Dr. Angela. We've got Dr. Cheryl Wood. We've got, oh my goodness, we've got Cynthia Bailey. We've just got so many amazing powerhouse women that are coming together. We got Shade Brown. We got, oh my goodness, we just got just some amazing people coming together to just elevate you. If you are just, ready to take yourself to that next level, it's time. Stop waiting because you know what? Time does not stop. We stop. Okay. Times don't keep going. So this is your time to get in the room. You have either the Power Up Summit or you also have the VIP where you can actually come live and be able to talk to all of the speakers and all these amazing, amazing women here and everybody that is going to be here at this summit. So please, 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 y'all get on it. Okay. I know I will be there July 27th through the 30th, the Power Up Summit. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me today. This has just been absolutely amazing. Everybody, we will see y'all on the flip side. Thank you so much. You guys, everybody, take care.